Let's get right on to it. You know what they say. The best way to spread holiday cheer is Grizzlies beating the Warriors by 51 for all to hear. Desmond Bane hits a three to start the scoring for the Grizzlies. First of 27 threes for the Grizz. They say it's Steph Curry who will shoot your eye out, but Zach Edey blocks his step back, and then Curry never hit from the field all night. Only thing soft about the Grizzlies is those fresh Christmas cookies. Up 10 early. Ja would never steal from Santa, because that ain't right. But Dennis Schroeder is fair game, and in the true spirit of Christmas, sitting on your butt. Find Santi, who finds BC for the dunk. Grizz led 39-15 after the first. Jaren Jackson Jr. reminds Kyle Anderson he's 2 sizes too small. 6 minutes left in the first half, and the Warriors had 28 points. It was only appropriate that Santi Claus came to town. Santi Aldama hit 5 threes, had his 8th double-double of the season, and then he said, Feliz Navidunk! Grizzlies, up 30. Most wonderful time of the year is when Ja Morant swats Draymond Green. And then the most wonderful time of the year is when Zach Edey doesn't back down to Draymond. You, sir, are an angry elf. Draymond, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, a minus 42. Grizzlies pushing 40 in the third. Ja la 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 la. La 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 la. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs. That and Whoop That Trick. If you're worried and you cannot sleep, count Grizzlies reverse dunks instead of sheep. Jalen Wells is going to be the one to throw it down. Last night, points to the reverse dunk king, Jay Huff, and the Grizz go on to win 144-93. You heard that right! 144-93, a real life basketball score for the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Their biggest win over the Warriors in franchise history, biggest win in the NBA this season. God, where were you, CJ, when the Grizzlies beat the Warriors by 51 points?
Sitting on my couch like, how is this happening right now? Why is this the thing that's going on?
Why not?
This isn't supposed to be, that is a proud Warriors team. There are champions on that team. There are Hall of Famers on that team. Steph, Dre, Kerr. You throw in Kyle Anderson, right? That's a vet. Wiggins is a champion. Kuminga is a champion. This isn't the Wizards. This isn't the hapless Wizards running around out there. That's the Golden State bleeping Warriors. They hate you. They want to beat you. They want to stomp you out. They're talking about how soft you are. They've said things about how emotional you get and how you break the code, and they poke fun at you all the time.
They call you soft.
They call you soft. Draymond Green has a commercial where he's talking about the Grizzlies in the woods, right, as he's chasing the ball around. Like, very clearly, they know who you are. They don't like you. You're not supposed to beat them by 51. That is insane. Again, I don't watch blowouts. I got other things to do with my life. And it was clear that the Warriors, whatever it is in sports, they just didn't have it. But it was like, okay, they're going to make a run, and I have to see this run that they make. Steph Curry is not going to be scoreless. At halftime, Jessica, you know this because you were there and you're a professional.
It sure was.
They had 2 dudes with more than 5 points, and one of those dudes had 5 exactly, right? Like, it's 5 points for, I think, Buddy Hield, and then maybe Wiggins had 12 or something like that.
Wiggins had 12.
Like that, and that was it. How is this happening? How? It was exhilarating to watch.
I know. I was very much Kevin McAllister, like, throughout the entirety of the game. So many favorite moments. So many. And I will say, what the best thing about last night was that it was the epitome of let your play do the talking. Like, if you let your play do the talking was a game, it was the Grizzlies beating the Warriors by 51. Because there wasn't a lot of chirping throughout. There was chirping on the Warriors side. I thought Draymond Green was going to get tossed after the little push and shove moment with Zach Edey.
Being emotional. That's why you can't.
They say women can't be president because we're emotional, but I'd like to throw Draymond Green into the mix.
Well, he's not going to run for president.
Not going to be president.
He's too dark-skinned to be president. We won't let that happen. Speaking of, like, Taylor Jenkins being too emotional, what in the hell is Draymond Green? And that's why I don't pay.
Steve Kerr was emotional.
That's why I don't pay what Draymond says on his podcast any attention. It's entertaining. It's not newsworthy. It's just somebody spouting off.
It was nice to hear from the Grizzlies after the game. There are no quotes. You will find no petty Edey quotes this morning. Nothing spicy. There's not going to be anything aggregated that gets people up in arms and in the comments section hating on the Grizzlies again. Because as Desmond Bane said after the game, like, it's one game in a long season. It's one game in a long season. And Jaren spoke on it maybe in the past. I did like Ja saying that it was fun on the court, but it was maybe even more fun off the court after he got hurt. He didn't go back in, and that is something to monitor. He took a gnarly fall, and who knows if it hadn't been the kind of blowout that it was, like, would he have been able to come back in the game? We don't know. We'll see what his status is for Saturday against the Atlanta Hawks. But that was maturity right there, was that team not getting baited into the ways of old. Now they can take the mature approach, and the rest of us can take the full-on petty approach.
Yeah, that's because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We can do that.
It's what I live for.
You guys can't. You guys got to focus on what's
but
next.
You have a damn Christmas hat on your head.
Check this out. I'm not going to practice, and I don't got to suit up to play in the next game, so I can say whatever I want to say about the Golden State Warriors.
My favorite part, well, I have so many favorite parts. When the score was 102-50, that was art. Like, I know the final score is great, 144-93. I really wanted the Grizzlies to hold them under 90 selfishly. You start like bargaining in your head of just how much of a beatdown you want this to be. And I knew it most likely was not going to get to the 73-point win, which is the largest of all time for the Grizzlies. I was in the building. I have that box score on my desk with a nice little star on it when the Grizzlies beat the Thunder by 73 points. But that wasn't the Thunder of right now. That was the Thunder of the Depression era, the Great Depression. The more picks than God knows what to do with.
Again, you beat teams rebuilding by that much.
Right. This is the Warriors. So I didn't think they'd get to 73. I didn't think, we started keeping track on Radio Row. Eric Hasseltine was asking, okay, what's the most the Grizzlies have ever beaten the Warriors by? And people went back to that playoff game where the Grizzlies led by as many as 55, but they won by 39. And then in the regular season, they had beaten the Warriors by 29. And you're like, okay, well, they got to beat them by at least 39, so it's the biggest win against the Warriors of all time. Then I wanted them to have the most points of the season, which had previously been 142 against the Bulls. So they get to 144. If they had held the Warriors under 90, it would have been the lowest opponent output of the season. The Nuggets scored 90 in that Grizzlies win over Denver. So I'm just like, but like, what a gift to be having these conversations like, man, this team is up 50 plus, and I hope they just drive the knife in a little bit more. But the 102-50 score was when people started really paying attention on the internet. I think we were only maybe like 4:45 left in the third quarter, and the Grizzlies hit the 100 mark, and the Warriors only had 50 points. Like, that was a testament to what last night was all about. They played a nearly perfect first quarter where the defensive intensity from the jump, I think they had 6 steals and 4 blocks in that first quarter, and they were everywhere. They were making the Warriors miserable. The miserable Warriors and their miserable fans, and I use miserable not like those miserable people. No, they were miserable. They were sad. They were so down bad. Chris Luther texted me in the middle of the second quarter and said, "Good thing I'm a Grizzlies fan now." Do you know how bad of a season? And the Warriors have been bad this season. They've now lost, had won 2 of their last 8. So now they've only won 2 of their last 9. You know me with math. I've had to watch some of those games with the Grizzlies. I was well aware of their problems. That's why they traded for Dennis Schroeder, trying to help the difference between when Steph is on the court, Steph is off the court. But last night it didn't matter because Jalen Wells had Steph Curry in a torture chamber. Rookie. The Grizzlies started 2 rookies in a game that they beat the Warriors by 51 points.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.